Last night, the Vice President of Tanzania announced the passing on of President John Pombe Magafuli, who is said to have succumbed to a heart disease. Now, there are certain events that transpired prior to the 2 weeks that he has been missing in action, and some of these events are quite questionable, especially when you're looking at them using a prophetic perspective. On the 7th of July in 2019, that is 2 years back, there was a prophecy that was uttered by a Zimbabwean prophet, that is Prophet Ian Love, in which he was urging Tanzanians, and he was actually urging people to pray for President John Pombe Magafuli, because he was saying that he saw a powerful enemy. He said he saw a powerful enemy that wants to engineer an attack against the life of President John Pombe Magafuli, because he was crusading against corruption, and he was also crusading against this whole COVID fiasco. Now, guys, listen to what the prophet has to say, and we will talk about it afterwards.
Magafuli, we must pray for him, because the Holy Spirit was telling me that the enemy wants to engineer a setback in his life, in his career, and a threat against his personal life, because of his crusade of humility and his crusade against the corruption. That's what the Holy Spirit was telling me. You know, I saw in a vision, he was seated on a chair, and there were these fierce looking.
So yes, the official report is saying that the man succumbed to a heart disease, but then we have to consider the environment that the man was actually operating in, and especially after listening to what the prophet has said, one might actually be forced to consider some theories, or to consider some things probably that could have happened, or that could have transpired, leading to the man's untimely death. Remember, this is a man that is that was fighting for Pan-Africanism. He was actually promoting Pan-Africanism, and this is a man that was fighting against the influence of Western powers in his country. And this is also a man that was saying, no, we are not accepting any vaccines. We want to produce our own remedies to fight against this pandemic. He has, no matter how much we might want to reject that thought, he has raised, or he has created a lot of enemies against him, but he was standing for Africans, and he was standing for he was actually standing for Pan-Africanism, guys. With all this happening in the nation of Tanzania, there have also been a whole lot of conspiracy theories that have been raised, and some of these were actually demeaning, and they were coming from opposition leaders who claim to be standing for the people, or fighting for the people. But then, how do you claim that you're fighting for the people when you are fighting for the one that is actually fighting for the people? Because Africa, to be honest, Africa knows that John Pombe Magafuli was standing for African, and he was standing and fighting for the rights of Africans, guys. Anyways, I noticed that most of these opposition leaders now are claiming to be fighting and trying to liberate African people, when as yet they have forgotten what it is to be African. They have forgotten what it really means to be African, and because they want to get Western help for them to actually attain power, for them to be in power and then become the president or the liberators of African people. Guys, if you get Western help from Western countries, from some Western countries, it doesn't come cheap, and it comes at a very huge cost, and some of those costs will be paid by the future generations, which is not something that is actually nice. And I have just remembered what was written by Paulo Freire, if I'm not mistaken, in which he said in one of his writings that for the oppressed to be is to be like the oppressor. You would find out that if you take time to actually study the characters of the opposition leaders, you find that most of them will actually become worse if they are placed in the same positions with positions of leadership. Guys, I don't know what you think. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Did the man really succumb? Did he really succumb to what the vice president has said, or there is a story behind that we are waiting to see it unfolding, or it might as well be covered, because most of these things that transpires behind back doors, they're usually covered so that people will not get to know the truth. But as always, you must make it a priority to find out the truth, or if you don't find out about the truth, try to find out something that is behind what you have heard or what has been happening. African people have been criticizing John Pombe Magafuli, when as yet he was actually standing for the Africans. Guys, enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and to like, to share, and to click the notification bell below so that you will not miss out on any of the things that we'll be talking about. Enjoy.